Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and we are winding down on 2023. And when I think of the many decks that I've gotten to play in 2023, one stands out as the most absurd and ridiculous, and that is the Invasion of Alara combo deck, which many of you have seen. It was kind of a flash in the pan for like a week or so back when March of the Machine came out. Is when Eldraine came out, that the Bramble Familiar combo with Invasion of Alara became a thing. And you can see some videos around Eldraine era that came out that show exactly how the deck works in full. The short version is that if you cast Invasion of Alara and you have nothing in your deck that is more expensive than 4, except for Bramble Familiar, you can cast the Fetch Quest side for free, which then, if you hit a Cemetery Desecrator, can exile a card from your graveyard that you probably milled, because there's a lot of 7-drops, to remove counters from Alara to transform into Awaken the Maelstrom all in one turn. Like, it's an ongoing loop of things that I will show you in the video. So if that didn't make sense, don't worry. We're going to put it on display for you here today. The thing that I'm excited to try in it that I didn't get to try when Eldraine came out is Trumpeting Carnosaur. The cool thing about Trumpeting Carnosaur is the Discover 5. So when you cast this, you get to reveal cards until you reveal something that's 5 or less, and then you get to cast it for free. If you reveal a Bramble Familiar, you can't cast Fetch Quest, because the Bramble Familiar itself is 2 mana, but Fetch Quest is 7, which means that Carnosaur does not cast it. In that way, it is kind of a fixed cascade. However, if you reveal an Invasion of Alara, it's a way to basically find more Invasions of Alara. The biggest issue this deck had is that you don't always draw Invasion of Alara, and you don't have a ton of ways to find it. So Trumpeting Carnosaur is like adding 4 more potential invasions, basically rerolls on hitting invasion, to the deck. It's also a card that you can discard to deal 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker, keeping you alive long enough to do the invasion nonsense. So I'm excited to try that pair today. The rest of the deck is built around the combo, and you can tell because look at the curve. Look at the curve! 24 cards that cost 6 or more, 4 that cost 5, and 5 that cost 2. How is this possible in Magic? Cost reduction, alternate costs. Prototype is an alternate cost. Cost reduction, like Leyline Binding. But also just adventure cards. You know, we saw Fetch Quest Bramble Familiar, where the adventure is the expensive side. On Virtue, the adventure is the cheaper side. And of course, Herd Migration, which you can discard to search for lands, which you need. So that's the idea. That's how it works. We are going to try to cast Invasion and see just how ridiculous. Like, can one 5-color battle destroy all that the opponent's done for the first 4 to 5 turns of their game? Let's dive in. Happy New Year, everybody. It's been a marvelous 2023. Thanks for having me on the official Magic the Gathering Arena YouTube channel. Let the nonsense begin. No green mana. And on the draw, that's a mull. Green mana. Still not a good hand. I will keep it. We'll put the Desecrator away. We'll see if we can survive long enough to cast a Carnosaur. Opponent did not play a turn 1 creature. It's a good change of pace for us. Of course, control decks are very hard to beat with this deck. Oh, and the Collector's Vault. Discard card, make a treasure. That's a challenging card to play against. Let's see what their deck does. Hopefully it's not like counter, counter, counter. Hopefully it's something mid-range artifact theme. Grand Spider. Okay. It looks like I can get my wish. Virtue doesn't really do anything here. Carnosaur doesn't really do anything here. 4 being the magical toughness number, where I can't beat that. I can't kill it. Celestus. So many artifacts. What's going on? Opponent's probably like, so many colors. What's going on? We're going to need to draw the land, but we have a ton of them and Herd Migration. Okay, that will do. It's on next turn. We're going to try to blow the opponent out of the water. They get to dig with a vault. They have saw blades? Spring-load saw blades in the graveyard. So, artifact value deck. Wandering Emperor discarded. You probably do have some amount of counter spells hidden in the pile, though. It would be silly to be playing a deck like this without a make disappear, I think. White Stone and Weak Stone. Let's draw some cards. Solid plan. None of it's going to touch the pure value that our invasion combo can produce if it pops off. But a few counter spells, and we might fall too far behind for invasion to be relevant. That's got to be their plan, right? Dig for as many counter spells as possible. Spider coming at you. Upkeep plays. What are you doing? Is this what, the demolition field? All right, what we have to be careful. We have red, we have black. This is going to be blue, so we need white or green. All right, I get to proceed with my turn. Our first make disappear test. Opponent, you failed. Bramble, mill. It's a risky mill. There's nothing else in our graveyard. We have to hit like full combo here. We do not. So we'll go for a Carnosaur and see if that can hit another invasion. Nope, it's a familiar. We'll put that in hand. Actually, we don't have a land. Let's put that on the battlefield. We can't cast the other side of it. Not the way that Carnosaur works. It requires that the spell be 5 or less. So you're really hoping to hit another invasion there. Not exactly the sequence we were looking for. And the opponent gets the turn to answer. Let's see what they do. They have all these artifacts. They're drawing so many cards. What's their power play? They don't have make disappear. We saw a Wandering Emperor. That's very mid-rangey or control-y. They don't seem like a control deck. But I imagine they might have sweepers or something to bury. Okay.
I'd rather show than tell.
Yeah, they can twiddle a bunch of things, I guess. How do they remove opponent's stuff? Unstable Glyph. They killed my Carnosaur with Unstable Glyph. Bridge. Enters the battlefield. If you cast it, for each player, choose power 2. Destroy all creatures except those chosen. Crafts into some 5/3 flyer. Interesting. Sure, Teferi. What else you gonna do? Wandering Emperor on the Bramble Familiar. Looks like it.
I hope you're ready to lose.
All right, you made the plays.
You are not much of a roadblock.
I mean, I'm just here to do this. There is one more Bramble Familiar, right? One more. So this is it. This is the big ta-da. Although we still have Carnosaurs to hit other invasions if we don't mill them. And in the graveyard, we whiff. Well, we failed. Not our day, I guess. Ugh. Okay. So we need to draw an untapped land and then We can desecrate an Alara? Maybe? Having 2 desecrators in hand and none in the 14 cards milled is a problem. But also missing the 6th land is a problem. Credit to the opponent, they played to their outs and they used tap and then exile with combo with Teferi and Wandering Emperor, but man. Digging with the spider. Look at top 4, reveal an artifact card, put it into your hand. The rate on that is crazy. It's 7 mana, but if you have enough mana, it works. The Stone Brain. At this point, what would they do with that? Search graveyard, hand, and library for 4 cards and then exile them. At this point, the invasions are already on the field. If they spend their turn using the Stone Brain, what are they going to do? Remove land? Because like my hand is loaded. They're obviously still trying to figure theirs out. They're down to they're running lower on resources. Looks like they're gonna go for it. I have to be pretty happy about that. Yeah, go for it. 4 cards with that name. So they have to choose the card name now. They don't see my hand. They know about the briefcase. They choose the Carnosaur. They're going to get 2. I do draw 2 cards. That should help me hit land. But honestly, I think what they should choose, if they're in that position, is the Desecrator. The Desecrator is the card that removes counters from the invasion without attacking it. All right, there's our untapped land. There will be desecration. Oh, that sounds so bad. I didn't name the cards. Opponent has no timeouts. They're going to run out of time to actually use their Teferi, and they did. It skipped to combat. Okay, second main, they get a whole new rope so they can do it again. What are we doing here? Well, that was fun. All right, so we are going to try to attack down this invasion, and if it doesn't work, we're going to play the Desecrator. I'm sure they run some removal, and it's Get Lost, and it's their last card, and they have to pay 7 for this. Okay. Well, they can't hold priority anymore. That's a win of its own. Let's invade. I will draw 2. We will destroy the Teferi. We will sneak out the briefcase. We will copy the Desecrator. We will distribute counters.
We will meet again.
And exile what? Gorger. Remove. Cast. I will draw 2. This will be destroyed. There are other options. Maybe it is supposed to be the spider, but I have a binding, so we'll use the binding on it. Choose a permanent I control. That would be you. 1, 2, 3.
Try not to miss
Let's
me.
exile a 5. They don't have any. I do. -5. And we could also take the collector's vault, so they're just top decking. Oh, we can't. We don't have enough land types. Noted. Let's crack a map token. And pass the turn. Discard 3. I don't think Virtue's very... Well, Virtue's a threat. We don't want to mill anymore. We don't need 2 virtues. And I guess we can drop a land. All right. Top of the deck. They get some rerolls. They have Celestis. They have Vault. They also have this, which says whenever an opponent casts a spell, they can't attack you. Each opponent who attacked you can't cast spells. Well, we can just attack them. It's 12 plus 6. Not quite dead, but it's close. All right. Demolition Field. Feels like a fidget. The Carnosaurs are gone, so we'll take the island. We need the blue source. And we can bind on their turn. Like, this is a triggered ability, right? So if we cast a spell pre-combat, we don't get to attack. Oh, we can go for the binding now. I guess that's the play. Thanks to the Demolition Field. That's why timing on your Demolition Fields is important. If they had waited till my turn, might have been a different story. They discarded a Teferi. Are they dead? I don't think so. 19, and they're at 22. All right, let's hold back because a board wipe is how they get out of this. Get lost. Okay. Are there anything with counters I want to remove? I don't think so. Let's just exile something good from their graveyard. I believe they run an artifact that gets things out of the graveyard. So I'll just exile this spider. And I'll remove counters from your island, because that's a thing I can do. We go to 10. Set ourselves up for a nice herd migration if they find a way out of this. They do run life gain. Maybe we should play out a bunch of creatures anyway, right? Make them draw multiple sweepers in a row. It's not like I have a lot of uses for the raccoons anyway. We're at 17 cards in deck. That's good. Let's just put some +1/+1 counters on things. And save 1 map. Why not? Off the top, they get 2 rerolls. Reroll number 1. Wandering Emperor discarded. Wow. They found it. They found it. All right. How many turns do you think they can do this? All right, let's keep getting the artifacts for reasons I said before. And no more artifacts. Don't know what would get back a sorcery, but I'll take that depopulate out of spite. Call the herd. All right, opponent, do it again. Draw another depopulate in your top 3. Nope, this time they scoop it up. And that's the victory. On the draw, opponent giving us mono red vibes. Turn 2 herd, turn 3 binding seems good. Go get red for a Carnosaur, probably. And yeah, mono red. All right, gear up. We might just be dead already. Sometimes there's nothing you can do. No double black either. Opponent didn't do much. Okay, there's double black. It's just going to take a while to get here. That's okay. Are they not casting their lightning strike? Most red players fire off a lightning strike as soon as they can hit you with a swift spear. Looks like this opponent wants to think about it. Or whatever other instant they run. Squee, very good card. Gonna have to bind the Squee. We have 3 types. We want to get double black on the field. This is gonna be a tough game. We also don't have double red for the Carnosaur yet. You gotta believe. Opponent smack talking? I mean, if they know me, they know I hate mono red. Let's see if we can get them impatient, get them to throw some lightning strikes now that they've seen some removal. Or monstrous rage, sure. Whatever. Another herd migration's nice. All right, let's play the Gorger. Make them get through this. If they have a lightning strike, they will. They can save it till their turn to make their Swift Spear bigger. They are drawing a good amount of land, and they have a Feldon. All right, well, we block here because we're playing around like Monstrous Rage. We don't want to trigger their Feldon, and we still gain life to offset the damage, so it's fine. Now, didn't play around to play with fire, but that's okay. Also, weird that they did this post-combat. They could have had an extra point out of their Swift Spear. Okay, that's good, that's good. Green. Play the red. We need a second red for a Carnosaur. So we need to have a green open. So we go like this. Play the worm. Keep offsetting that damage with life. They always top deck a lightning strike. It's like in their contract as red players. This is normal. Don't panic. Get the other red source so we can Carnosaur. And let's see if we can invade. This is one of the games where the Carnosaur is really good because we didn't draw into an invasion. We had to top deck it, so here we go. And we fetch quest, and we're looking for a Cemetery Desecrator. Do we hit one? We do. And we choose to exile a 7-mana card so that we can remove counters from the binding. Not the binding, the invasion. And we cast Awaken the Maelstrom. I will draw 2 cards. Target a permanent opponent controls to destroy. I will destroy your Feldon because targeting it for damage gives them cards. I will choose to make a copy of a permanent I control. Let's copy the Carnosaur. I will distribute the counters. I think you all deserve one today. You've done fabulous work. Trigger. And we hit a Bramble Familiar. Let's put that in the hand so we can cast the fetch quest. Actually, we already have a fetch quest in hand. Let's put it on the battlefield. If we had another invasion there, we keep going. Bold. Everybody kill it! And then they were destroyed. Vanquish that red mage with all that you have. Ah, that's why we play the games. That's why. Right there. That's why. All right. This is rough. We don't have anything to do on turn 1 and 2 other than play some tap lands, but we do have 2 bindings to try to stay alive. If our opponent goes 1-drop, 2-drop, and we don't draw anything that represents a cheaper binding, we could die really fast. But I don't think we can mull this. We need the lands. The bindings are kind of our best cards for staying alive. A Herd Migration, a red source, and we do the thing. So, on the draw, I don't think it gets much better. I think our average hand would be worse. So, we're also just, you know, a top-decked Herd Migration or Virtue away from a really good hand. Mono red. Well, when you're on the draw with a sus hand, that's when mono red finds you. And then you draw a 6-drop. All right, just top deck the right Triome. Or it's not Triome, but Triland. And we can bind. And we're okay. Wow, they put the roll on the Swift Spear. Is that it? No, it doesn't have red. We'll see if that costs us. That could really cost us. Could be worse. No Godric. Don't forget to cast your burn spell for your prowess trigger. You know you wanna. They always do. We'd still draw a mountain here and have double binding available. Yep, they found the line. That is a mountain. Booyah. But nothing to do next turn after we double bind. We're gonna have to draw something useful. They're just going too hard, man. They're going too hard. All right, first binding. Hopefully this will get them to make a play, like a monstrous rage. Yeah, there we go. That's what we're looking for. And we really wanted them to target their Swift Spear. That's a mistake on their part. If they had targeted any other creature, the damage would have been the same, but one removal wouldn't have stopped it. They scoot. Wait, they what? They say good game. Well, we're kind of dead. We have to draw into another binding, right? It's very close to dead. Not quite, though. Okay. Make them have it. They always have it. They always 100 billion% have it. All right, we need to draw exactly a third binding. So tap careful. Cycle. Fail. Ugh. 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 I think mono red has to be our worst matchup just because of the speed, and we've played them 2 out of 2 games. So can we please get something different? Please? At least we're on the play. I think the last game on the play might have been able to win. All right, white. Don't know if that's better or worse, because Thalia is a really good magic card. But we'll find out. We have to go tap land into tap land. But then we can herd migrate. Yeah, I told you Thalia's good. All right, maybe we can't herd migrate just yet. Let's go ahead and remove her. That's the difference between being on the draw and on the play. Having the mana to actually remove a Thalia and not just get completely owned. Adeline, excellent curve from them. And this is going to be a bad turn. This is going to be a real bad turn. We don't have the black mana for the Flesh Gorger, but next turn, we go for it with Invasion as long as they don't have another Thalia. Vanguard, oh, that's going to hurt. That's so much damage. Are we dead? 17 is a lot, but I mean, current mono white with Adeline and Vanguard can do it. Looks like they're going to come up 4 short. And we do have the life here. Double black, please. All right, here we go. It's got to be epic. It's got to be epic. We do get 2 Bramble Familiars. Fetch it. Come on, big hits. I see a Desecrator. Here we go. Gotta remove a 7. We have Herd Migration. Remove the counters. Cast Awaken the Maelstrom. I'll draw 2. What are we destroying? It has to be the Vanguard because we can't pay the ward for anything else. Put out the Flesh Gorger. Make a copy of... If we copy the Desecrator, the trigger will go on the stack and we'll get to remove. If we copy the Flesh Gorger, we have 2 7/5s with lifelink. Actually, they get even bigger than that. But I think it's the Desecrator so that we can then kill... Right? Because the trigger is going to resolve after this, so the Coppercoat Vanguard will be dead, so we can kill the Adeline. And that's pretty huge. Okay. Have we stabilized? Extraction Specialist gets... Don't think that's strong enough. Opponent? Yeah, I will block. Game. Boom. Just one card is all that it takes.